Hello, welcome to my presentation. The person I'm studying on for my AP World History project is Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla. Let's begin. His special abilities were what he learned while he was studying to be a priest. He learned to be bilingual and learned such languages such as Nahuatl, French, and Italian. He was born on May 8, 1753. The countries he influenced were modern-day Mexico and Spain, and how he influenced them we'll find out in the future. Important dates you should know about him is that in May 8, 1753, he was born, and in 1770 he completed his preparatory education, like high school. In 1778, he was ordained as a priest. In 1803, his brother Felipe died, and Miguel took his place as priest in the town of Dolores. And in September 15, 1810, it was the event Grito de Dolores. Hidalgo voiced his opposition against Spain that day. And in July 30, 1811, he died. Some economic changes he caused was that he used his education to promote jobs to lower classes. He trained people on how to make leather and make factories that were specialized in pottery. Some family members he had were his parents, Cristobal Hidalgo y Costilla and Dona Ana Maria Galaga. His siblings, oh my God, were Felipe Joaquin Hidalgo y Costilla, Manuel Mariano Hidalgo y Costilla, Maria de la Trinidad Hidalgo y Costilla, and Jose Maria Cesaria Hidalgo y Costilla. The geography of Hidalgo's country. Mexico had high mountains and low coastal ranges, its climate being mainly tropical. The Spaniards colonized there to gain new lands, and their absolute control caused Hidalgo's thirst for knowledge. Caused Hidalgo's thirst for freedom. And the historical impact he did was economically. He made factories that specialized in pottery and taught people how to make leather to create more jobs for the lower class. And politically, Mexico went from a monarchy to a federal republic thanks to Hidalgo's inspiring revolution among the natives in Mexico. He was influenced by Enlightenment ideas he learned while he studied being a priest, which led him to question the absolute control the Spanish king had over the country of Mexico. Some jobs he had besides being a priest was an entrepreneur and a humanitarian. Of kids he had a total of 5 kids, who were all out of wedlock. Their names were Agustina, Mariano Lino, Maria, Michaela, and Joaquin. His love story was basically him being a Casanova. He used to live with a woman named Maria Manuela Herrera and ended up having 2 children with her. Later on, he had 3 children with Josefa Quintana. He was never wed. One mystery about him was nobody knows why he wasn't punished for wedlock despite being a priest. But I have a theory, it's because he has too much swag. What was different about him was that unlike many priests in the past, he allowed minorities to enter into his church. He also questioned ideas on the church, such as the clerical celibacy. I never really found anything offensive about him. I actually found it really interesting about how he had 5 children despite being such a priest, and never being married. That's impressive. Political changes. He didn't really change the government directly, but he inspired the people to fight for their freedom, and the government changed from monarchy to a federal republic after he died. One such quagmire he met in his life was when he had to flee Aguascalientes, after being defeated by royalist forces, becoming the blame for Mexico's losses. Well, it wasn't really blaming. He actually was at fault because he was given a chance to flee, but he chose to not to because he was stubborn. Hmm. We can assume that Miguel Hidalgo did not badly treat any minorities because he allowed anyone into his church. However, he probably didn't respect the Spanish officers living there because of his Enlightenment ideas. Some social changes he did. After his spark of rebellion and eventually when Mexico won, Spanish royalty weren't the most powerful in Mexican society. Oh my God, Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla lived during the modern era period. He was located in Unit 4. Hmm. He didn't develop anything in the material sense, but he inspired Enlightenment ideas among many rebels who were fighting against Spain. Winner. He did not lead his group to victory because he was killed in the war. However, his side did win years later. And his actions, the Grito de Dolores, that was the real day it was considered the declaration where they were considered free. Mexico? Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla is extraordinary because of how he declared independence from Spain. He should be remembered because he started the war between Mexico and Spain, which results in Mexico becoming a federal republic. He is good enough to study because he is a good example of how Enlightenment ideas affect people's views of government. Thank you for listening for this long. Goodbye.